What is going on, my family? Your boy Demetrius is back with another classic video. Here we are going to talk about the one and only and none other than Virtua Fighter 6. Now everybody knows when EVO 2025 came, Sega and Yamada, they basically gave us a gameplay teaser of Virtua Fighter 6, Akira versus Sarah. Everybody witnessed what happened in that teaser trailer with the whole bloody sequence, the tooth getting knocked out of Akira's mouth and stuff like that. So it has really got a lot of people excited on what we could see next and what could be revealed in the future when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. Now, what hasn't really been talked about is the characters. Who is going to return in Virtua Fighter 6? There's already been 3 characters that have been confirmed when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. Akira, Yuki, Stella, and Wolf Hawkfield. So here we are going to talk about the characters that I feel like could possibly return, and then of course there could be some characters that possibly may not make the cut. Now here's the thing, I want all characters to make the cut, to be quite honest with you, and I understand also we live in the age of DLC and stuff like that, and we could possibly see characters from other games such as Yakuza. We could see characters from Shenmue or something like that. So it's all in the cards, and we also don't know the exact character count when it comes to the base roster of Virtua Fighter 6. They haven't gotten that far as giving us that information, but at the same time we are going to talk about who will return and who may not return when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6, because there is a distinct possibility that a couple of characters may get left off the roster. As I said, I'm going to be explaining on the characters that may return and may not return, and I'm going to elaborate on why these characters may come back and why some of them may not come back. But before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for the hottest Virtua Fighter action on the internet, period. We are going to get into this shit right now. Who will return when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6? Let's go. All right, so the first character obviously that we're going to talk about is Jacky Bryant, and pretty much Jacky Bryant on side of Akira Yuki. Jacky Bryant is probably the most popular and recognized character when it comes to the Virtua Fighter franchise, so that by itself is a reason why I feel like Jacky Bryant will return. Also too, when it comes to the character Stella, I kind of feel like Jacky Bryant could have a huge importance when it comes to that character, because now it has been confirmed that Stella is not Sarah Bryant. So Jacky Bryant could be very important if he returns, which I really do feel like he will return. A 90% chance we will see Jacky Bryant in this game. Hopefully too, Jacky Bryant is one of those characters, I hope they don't change his appearance that much. His appearance is already iconic. Maybe, you know, make him have a goatee or something like that. But overall, I really don't think that they should change Jacky Bryant that much at all, because his appearance is already iconic. But as I said, there's a 90% chance that Jacky Bryant will be back into this game. And of course, Jacky Bryant is a Jeet Kune Do expert, of course, made by the famous Bruce Lee. So that's another reason why I do feel like he's going to return in Virtua Fighter 6. And like I said, if there's a story involved, which we already know that Yamada has confirmed that, Jacky Bryant could play a huge part in that. There's really a lot of things that they can do when it comes to Jacky Bryant when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. So like I said, Jacky Bryant has at least a 90% chance of coming back, and I do think that he will show up when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. And hopefully when TGS comes around, Jacky Bryant will be one of those characters that they will reveal in a trailer format. The next character that we are going to discuss on who could possibly return is Gaugami, and I'm gonna say it right now, I give Gaugami 100% chance to come back into this game, because people just don't realize Gaugami is actually the reason why the entire Yakuza franchise even exists. His design and his attitude is the reason why we see a character like Kazuma Kiryu. And of course, Virtua Fighter 6 is being made by RGG Studios, and Gaugami, pretty much his design, attitude, personality, it is totally tailor-made for what's going on with Virtua Fighter 6 right now. So I really do think that this character has a complete 100% chance in coming back in Virtua Fighter 6. I would absolutely be shocked if Gaugami does not make it into this game, especially if the game is story driven. Gaugami would be a perfect fit into this game. And like I said, when it comes to the Yakuza franchise, this character by himself is one of the main influences on why the Yakuza franchise even exists, whether people know it or not. So Gaugami I give this character a 100% chance of being in Virtua Fighter 6, and if he doesn't show up in Virtua Fighter 6, I will be absolutely shocked. The next character that I want to talk about when it comes to returning in Virtua Fighter 6 is Vanessa Lewis. Vanessa Lewis has always been a unique character. Sometimes she is getting put in controversy because of her skin tone, but people just need to stop worrying about that. You know, she's still a unique character nonetheless. She has a dedicated fan base, a very loyal and passionate fan base, and that's the reason why I feel like Vanessa Lewis will return in Virtua Fighter 6. There's a lot of great things that they can do with her. Her unique style of Vale Tudo, you know what I'm saying? They can really enhance that in Virtua Fighter 6. So like I said, when it comes to Vanessa Lewis, I give Vanessa an 80% chance of returning in Virtua Fighter 6 because of her uniqueness. And also too, if Virtua Fighter 6 is story driven, Vanessa Lewis could play a big part in that because she does work with the FBI, either the FBI or the CIA. I'm not sure which one. I know she works for one of them, especially the whole theory that's going on with J6, Sarah, Stella. Vanessa can play a huge part in that from a story standpoint. So Vanessa Lewis, like I said, I would give her an 80% chance of returning, and I actually do hope she does return because she does add a great dynamic when it comes to Virtua Fighter. The next character that we're going to talk about is Aoi, and when it comes to this character, I truly, honestly don't think that this character will return in Virtua Fighter 6. The reason for it is I feel like this character, if she does return, this character needs a whole rework. She needs a whole makeover when it comes to appearance, when it comes to personality, when it comes to style and approach. She needs a whole makeover, but I really don't think this character is going to return. I think they're going to replace her with another Aiki Jujutsu character, whether it be male or female. With this character here, this character wouldn't be a factor when it comes to a story. She is close to Akira, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And to be quite honest with you, overall, this character is pretty lame. So I honestly do expect them to cut this character out when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. I know it's kind of harsh, but like I said, this character is lame. She really doesn't have nothing going on. And I really do think that they're going to come up with a better Aikido champion, although I could be wrong. But I seriously doubt that this character will return in Virtua Fighter 6. The next character that we're going to talk about is Leon. Leon is a character that is a really popular character, more popular than a lot of people think. I do think Leon is going to come back into this game. I give him like a 75 to 80% chance that Leon will come back. The reason for it is Leon is just a very unique and interesting character. He has a great personality. You know, the whole Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, Titanic type style that he has with his approach and his appearance. You know, we can kind of sit here and say he's probably going to look far different if he returns in Virtua Fighter 6. But when it comes to personality, when it comes to his style, when it comes to approach, Leon is a very popular character, and he would be a good fit for Virtua Fighter 6. Also, from a story standpoint, if they decide to do one, he could also possibly play a good role in the story as well. But like I said, when it comes to Leon, there is endless things that they can do with him. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what's going to happen with this character. But like I said, I do think Leon will show up in Virtua Fighter 6, 75 to 80% chance. And I do think Leon will be a character that he will be practically similar to what he has been when it comes to the Virtua Fighter franchise. They may grow him up a little bit, which would be cool. But overall, Leon is one of those characters, much like Jacky Bryant. They really don't have to change much with him. Just kind of grow him up and keep his whole Leo DiCaprio style. Leon will be fine. I do expect him to return. The next character we're going to talk about is Shundee. Now, when it comes to Shundee in Virtua Fighter 6, Shundee is just very tricky when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. And this might come to a little bit of a shocker, and I might disappoint some people when I say this because everyone knows Shundee is my second favorite character when it comes to Virtua Fighter. But I honestly do not think Shundee will return in Virtua Fighter 6. The reason for it is because not because of his old age or anything like that. I kind of feel like RGG Studios may have something special when it comes to the drunken master style, the drunken kung fu style. They may go like the Jackie Chan route or the Lei Wulong route when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. You know, a younger Chinese cop type of dude. You feel what I'm saying? Something around there. I think that's what they're going to do with the drunken kung fu style if they bring the drunken style style back, which I know that they will. I think they're just gonna kind of shake it up a little bit when it comes to Shundee. Maybe be a Shundee protege, a Shundee relative. But I'm guessing RGG Studios may have something in store for the drunken style in that manner. Like I said, like the whole Hong Kong cop style, you feel what I'm saying? I think they're gonna have something like that. And if they do, that'll be great. I feel like, you know, if they go younger, go fresher, that is a good idea when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. But like I said, when it comes to Shundee, I honestly don't think he will return. But one thing that I think that they can do with Shundee, if Shundee does return, that he could be kind of like a story character. He can be in the background of VF6 when it comes to the story, mentoring characters or mentoring the new drunken kung fu character. Y'all feel what I'm saying? They could do something like that when it comes to Shundee. But when it comes to him returning into the game, it's more than likely that Shundee won't return. Like I said, we could be surprised. Shundee may return. They may do some type of switcheroo and make Shundee younger himself. You know, they just may do a whole identity switch with a lot of these characters like they did with Stella. We just don't know right now. So when it comes to Shundee, it's looking like a 10, 15, 20% chance that he may come back. But I honestly don't think that Shundee will return. I think RGG Studios is going to go with something new, something fresh when it comes to the drunken style. And if they do, it'll be great. The next character that we're going to talk about is the daughter of my main character, Lau Chan, and that is Pai Chun. Now, here's the thing when it comes to Pai Chun. I give Pai a complete 100% to return in Virtua Fighter 6. The reason for it is because a lot of people don't realize this. When it comes to these fighting game kung fu girls, these characters are really stereotypical. And what I mean by that is when it comes to all of these fighting games, every single fighting game has a young Chinese kung fu girl. Y'all feel what I'm saying? You know, Street Fighter obviously has Chun-Li. Tekken has Ling Xiaoyu. Guilty Gear has Mei. Dead or Alive has Zhang Fan. Virtua Fighter has Pai. And I don't see that pattern changing anytime soon. I don't see that streak changing anytime soon when it comes to any of these fighting games. A good majority of these fighting games have a Chinese kung fu girl, and they have been in these fighting game franchises consistently. And same thing here with Pai Chan. I do expect her to return 100%. Another reason why is because she could be a good story piece. She's in love with Akira, so maybe whatever Akira got going on, he meets up with Pai. And that's another stereotype too when it comes to these Chinese kung fu girls. They are always in love with the main character of the fighting game. Have y'all noticed that? You know what I'm saying? Man, it's the truth, you know. Ling Xiaoyu in love with Jin. Pai Chan in love with Akira. Mei in love with Saul the bad guy. Zhang Fang in love with Zhang Li. Chung Li damn near in love with Ryu. So you feel what I'm saying? These Chinese kung fu girls are very stereotypical characters, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like Pai Chan will return. Also too, I think Pai Chan, they may change her up just a little bit, you know, take her to master mode. You know, she's going to be a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit more focused. You feel what I'm saying? Depending on what they're going to do with Lau Chan. But I definitely expect Pai Chan to return in Virtua Fighter 6 100%. The next character here, this character, I don't even like to say his damn name, but this is one of the characters, even though I said at the beginning of the video, I really want all the characters to come back. This one character, I really don't want to come back. You feel what I'm saying? He still may come back, but I don't want this character to come back. As you can see, I utterly dislike this character, and if he comes back or not, I really don't care. You know, a lot of people are saying that the secret character that they teased may have been him, but that is yet to be seen. Maybe we'll get some answers at Tokyo Game Show, but as of right now, hopefully they write this character off the franchise, and this character can go himself for all I care. The next character we're going to talk about is my main character, Lau Chan. Now, when it comes to Lau Chan, you know, of course, I'm going to be a little bit biased. You know what I'm saying? I hope Lau Chan comes back. I give him a 70% chance of coming back, even though most people feel like Lau's not going to come back. But I kind of feel like RGG Studios, they can squeeze some juice out of him when it comes to Lau. I think they can still get something out of him. You know what I'm saying? Lau looked absolutely great in Virtua Fighter 5. Another character, they really don't have to change his appearance that much. Maybe change it a little bit to the point where he's not wearing that ponytail anymore. Probably like shave his head off or some shit like that. To be quite honest with you, I think Lau will look better bald and old. You feel what I'm saying? They could go that route. You know what I'm saying? Lau could be like a sub boss character too. Like, you know, depending on what they do with the story, you know, Akira might run into him and face him when it comes to Konkin or some stuff like that. You know, who knows what could happen. He's my main, so you know I'm hoping and praying for it. Also too, Lau has always been the most traditional character when it comes to the fighting style. If Lau does come back, that's another thing that I'm expecting. I'm expecting that his Konkin style would remain the same. You feel what I'm saying? I expect Lau to still have his PPP and all of that. You know, people hate that, but I love it. So basically, when it comes to Lau, hopefully the tradition carries over if he returns in Virtua Fighter 6. Next character we're going to talk about is Leifei. Now, when it comes to Leifei, I want Leifei to come back. When it comes to the percentage of him coming back, Leifei, I would actually give him a 45% chance of coming back. Now, here's the thing with Leifei. If Leifei does return, Leifei is probably going to need a huge shakeup. Not when it comes to fighting style, but when it comes to an overall appearance and personality. Even though I love the classic Buddhist monk look, because no one is really doing that when it comes to these other fighting games. But now I kind of feel like it's time for a shakeup. I feel like they can do something a little bit different with Leifei. You know, make him a little older, make him a little meaner or some stuff like that. Make it to where he got banished from the Shaolin Temple or something like that. And now he's basically not a monk anymore. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, time for a shakeup when it comes to Leifei. If Leifei returns, I kind of expect that to happen. You feel me? But when it comes to his overall fighting style, the Shaolin style, they can keep that the same, you know. But when it comes to Leifei, I want him to return. I give him a 40% chance of returning, but he's going to need a tremendous shakeup. The next character that we're going to talk about is Jeffry. Now, when it comes to Jeffry, I honestly do expect Jeffry to return in Virtua Fighter 6. Jeffry is actually one of those characters I'm actually really excited to see if he does return. I just want to know what they're going to do with his appearance. Are they going to make him even more, you know, mightily and masculine than he is in Virtua Fighter 5? So that's going to be really, really interesting to see how they're going to have his hairstyle and stuff like that. So Jeffry is clearly a character that I'm looking forward to if he returns. I'm looking forward to see how they're going to treat him. I'm looking forward to see if they implement him in some type of story or whatever, what connection that he has with any of the characters, the new characters. Really excited for Jeffry. I give Jeffry an 85% chance to return because he's really always been like an arcade favorite when it comes to Virtua Fighter. And then on top of that, with Wolf Hawkfield being announced, it doesn't seem like it on the surface, but Wolf and Jeffry do have a little bit of a rivalry. Y'all feel what I'm saying? A little bit of a heavyweight rivalry and stuff like that. But like I said, it's kind of silent, but there is a rivalry there between Wolf and Jeffry. So it's going to be exciting to see what they do with Jeffry. I do expect Jeffry to return in Virtua Fighter 6. The next two characters that we're going to talk about are Elaze and Eileen. The reason why I want to talk about these two characters together, because everyone knows when it comes to Virtua Fighter 5, the original Virtua Fighter 5 vanilla, Elaze and Eileen were both introduced to us at the beginning of the Virtua Fighter 5 series. So pretty much these two characters are still fairly new to the franchise, if you want to put it that way. So I highly do think that they will return when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. Now, when it comes to the approach of these two characters, I do feel like RGG Studios will spice these characters up a little bit. Elaze might be a little bit of a tough job because, of course, the luchador mask and stuff like that, but hopefully we'll get an unmasked version of Elaze. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Although it's very rare that we'll see a luchador unmasked, but hey, maybe RGG Studios might break from that tradition and we can get an unmasked version of Elaze or something like that. And as far as Eileen goes, I expect Eileen to look gradually older. I expect her kind of like Pi to be in the master mode of her fighting style. You feel what I'm saying? And we're just going to have to see what happens when it comes to these two characters. Because like I said, these two characters are still fairly new. They're still pretty much mysterious. We don't really know too much about these two characters. We probably know more about Eileen than we do Elaze. You know, Eileen, of course, she admires Pi, and that's the reason why she's fighting. But Elaze is still a little bit mysterious. Of course, being a luchador, you have to be. So when it comes to these two characters, like I said, I think these two characters will return to Virtua Fighter 6, and I think they're going to be great in the game. The next character is Kage, and Kage is just one of those characters I am going to give a complete 100% that he will return in Virtua Fighter 6. Kage is pretty much the Mary Sue of the Virtua Fighter franchise. A lot of people think it's Akira, but honestly, it's Kage. Kage has won the most Virtua Fighter global tournaments story-wise, and I just feel like Kage is definitely going to be in this game. Kage is definitely going to have an upgraded look. I can kind of see it now. He's going to have some ninja upgrades and stuff like that. They're probably going to upgrade his move list as well. Probably going to give him an unmasked version also, much like they did in Virtua Fighter 3. So I expect RGG Studios to kind of go back to that, bring back that traditional unmasked Kage version. But Kage is definitely coming back in Virtua Fighter 6. There's no doubt about it, hands down. He's the darling of the franchise. He's pretty much the Mary Sue, like I just said. And just there's no way that Kage is going to miss Virtua Fighter 6. It's not going to happen. Kage will be in the game. Next character is Taka. So when it comes to Taka, I do not think Taka is coming back. I think Taka will not return to Virtua Fighter 6, practically because Taka is development hell. You feel what I'm saying? I remember Yu Suzuki said in an interview a long time ago how difficult it was for them to develop Taka and basically how difficult it was for them to program him. So I don't know, maybe RGG Studios really doesn't want to deal with that. That is my opinion. That's my educated opinion. You feel what I'm saying? I just don't think Taka is going to return, just for the simple fact is he's just development hell. You feel what I'm saying? You know, Taka is a character that plays his own meta. And like I said, if RGG Studios wants to test themselves with Taka, I guess that they can put him in. But to be quite honest with you, I seriously doubt it. I don't think Taka is going to be in this game. Same thing with Jin Kujo. I don't think Jin Kujo is coming back when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. The reason for it is I feel like they're probably going to get a better karate character, probably a Japanese version karate character, or probably an American version karate character. Y'all feel what I'm saying? I don't think Jin Kujo is a popular character like that, so I don't think that character is going to return. Even though he's a rival of Leon, I just don't see Jin Kujo returning, nor do I see Taka returning. Those two characters, Taka, Jin Kujo, I don't see them returning to Virtua Fighter 6. And last but not least, Sarah Bryant. Now here's the thing with Sarah Bryant. With all the things that's going on with Stella right now, we possibly still may see Sarah Bryant come back in the game. Maybe she may be a hidden character, DLC. She may be a part of the story, but there's a lot of speculation going on when it comes to Sarah Bryant and when it comes to Stella. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I have my own theory. I personally believe that Sarah Bryant got captured by J6 again. She got punished for not eliminating Jacky, and Stella is an impersonator. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Stella is an impersonator slash assassin that's entering the tournament to take out Jacky Bryant. So Sarah Bryant, there's still a possibility we could see Sarah in this game. Now, does Sarah have the same style as she been having, much like Stella is gonna have it? Maybe not. Maybe they're gonna try something different with her, but you just never know. We still may see Sarah Bryant in this game, depending on what RGG Studios has cooked up when it comes to the story and when it comes to her connection, when it comes to Stella. Now remember, Stella has a totally different last name. Her name is Stella Bridge. So I don't know what's going on there. But hopefully we'll get some answers soon. But from a theory standpoint, I still think we may see Sarah Bryant in this game, possibly. So that is my thoughts when it comes to who I feel like may be back when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 and who I feel like may not be back to Virtua Fighter 6. Like I said, none of this is carved in stone. This is just me kind of predicting and me kind of feeling things out when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. There's still a lot of things that needs to get revealed when it comes to the game. So we'll just have to see. What are your character predictions when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6? Who do you think is going to show up? Who do you think is going to get left out? Put y'all thoughts and y'all feelings in the comment section below. We could definitely get a conversation started. As I said earlier, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for the hottest Virtua Fighter action on the internet, period. My name is Demetrius. I will get back at you with the next video. God bless. Stay safe. I am out. Peace.